With me, this is the first meeting I've ran. We're going to try to get through this thing. We've all got a busy day, busy schedule. So we'll keep it short and sweet, to the point. We're going to start off with prayer. Would anybody like to lead us in prayer? Wayne, go ahead.
Lord, we thank you on this morning here. Thank you for giving us the strength and motivation to get up this morning and address the issues that's going on today. We ask you, Lord, to bless everybody as we leave and look over and protect all of us as we go about our usual things. Lord, we ask you to look over our brothers, the sons and daughters of our brothers and sisters who are serving over overseas too as well. In the name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior, thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Wayne Crawford, for that. Roll call of officers. Stewards.
Darlene Sunderland, student life. Tim Quinn, Secretary of State.
Wayne Crawford, student life.
Miracle Law Medical Center.
Lala Medical Center. Paul Willis Medical Center. Lala Medical Center. Crystal Harris, treasurer.
Crystal Harris,
Law, that's $5.
Really?
We're going to go and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Darlene, want to lead us in that? Ready, guys? Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Crystal, are you ready with the Treasurer's report? We'll do it later. President's report. I'm going to introduce Mr. Mike Moses, who will introduce Mr. Klein. So, Mike, you want to come up and take care?
Good morning. One of the most important races I think you'll have to vote in this year is the county prosecutor race. And running for county prosecutor on the Democratic ticket is Zach Klein. Zach is currently City Council President and has served with distinction for several years in the council. He has the support of several and most of the unions in Henry County. He's expressed an interest in labor issues for a long time. He's also gotten active in the support of our effort to keep jobs unionized at Ohio State. He's very active in that. I would like to have you give your full attention to him as he explains his campaign and introduces himself. Tells you who he is. Thank you.
Well, I'm Zach Klein. I'm the president of Columbus City Council, and here's how I kind of got to council. I grew up in southeastern Ohio, down in Belgrade, across from Parkersburg, West Virginia. Went to Ohio State University, Capitol Law School, clerked for a couple federal judges when I graduated law school, and then left the clerkship early. I don't know if you guys remember Rich Cordray. He ran for Ohio Attorney General. Well, I worked on Rich's campaign back in 2008, and Rich and I became very close. I was planning on going to work for Rich in the AG's office as an assistant attorney general when we won the election, when I had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. to work for Vice President Biden at the White House. I was the Deputy Director of Management and Administration, which is a great title to mean that essentially I was the COO, CFO for the Office of the Vice President of the United States. So we all, me and the Vice President, we all had the opportunity to serve Barack Obama as the President of the United States. My wife's a shoe buyer for DSW. So she told me she wasn't coming to D.C. because she was going to stay at her job buying shoes for a living. So I flew back and forth every weekend for a year. After a year, it became personally and financially taxing to maintain that commute. So I came back and worked for Rich in the AG's office as an assistant attorney general. I was also on the securities litigation team, which helped select counsel and work on cases that took on Wall Street to recover billions of dollars for pensioners, police, firefighters, teachers in the state of Ohio. We've had many successful cases in recovering that money in the height of the recession in 2008, 2009. Well, Rich lost in 2010, but with every door closing, and I'm sorry, Rich also allowed me to be a special assistant U.S. attorney. So I also was cross-designated not only as an assistant attorney general, but also a special assistant U.S. attorney and prosecuted white-collar criminal crime over at the federal courthouse. Well, when Rich lost, that door closed, one opened, and that was for me to serve on Columbus City Council. So I've been serving on council since January 2011. I ran in November 2011, I ran in November 2015, was recently elected, and now I serve as the council president. Over my tenure on council, in addition to working on council, I worked at a big law firm here in town, as well as working now for my own law firm and then as the general counsel for the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. So it dovetails with my mission of serving others and serving those in need, which is something that is always my North Star in trying to figure out how I make decisions, and now raising my 3.5 and 1.5-year-old up just a little bit north of where we live, where we're standing right now. But on council, I was the safety chairman for 3.5 years before becoming council president. And in my role as chairing safety, I saw firsthand how issues like mass incarceration, drug addiction, human trafficking, how those have ripped up communities and destroyed neighborhoods. And I think that there's no better place to address those issues head on than being Franklin County prosecutor. That's the gatekeeper of the criminal justice system. Far too long in our country and in this county, the prosecutor's office has been strictly reactive, meaning crime happens, take them down to the courthouse, incarcerate. We lead the nation, we lead the world, our nation leads the world in the rate of incarceration. We have the most incarcerated people in the Western civilization, but yet our crime rates are the same, so we're doing something wrong. It's costing you as hardworking taxpayers and me as hardworking taxpayers $30,000 a year to incarcerate people that really may not be threats to society. So what we need to do is put bad people in jail. And I'll be the first to lead the charge on that. The rapists, the murderers, the pedophiles, the sex offenders, those are the people that we should be focusing on, because jail is a place where we want to put bad people. For far too long, though, jail has been a place where we've been putting people we don't know what to do with, that have drug addiction issues, that have mental health issues, that lack opportunity and sometimes turn to crime as a way to provide for their family. So we need to be reactive and put bad people in jail, but we also need to be proactive. And proactive, in my opinion, the low-hanging fruit is a prosecutor's office that's engaged in the community, that's working with labor organizations like 4501, that's working with the faith community and neighborhood groups, so as to prevent crime to even begin with. Because once you get that scarlet letter of a felony on your record, you're pretty much screwed. It's very difficult to find a job. You can't even get a barber's license, really. So we need to have an office that looks like the community, that respects and appreciates where people's life circumstances come from. Not that means you give people an excuse, but at least you have the empathy of understanding individual circumstances. In this office, being a block and a half away from the State House, you have this tremendous opportunity to influence legislation that can drastically change the criminal justice system for the better. That we can protect society, but at the same time, and be tough, but at the same time being smart and pragmatic of how we do things. And it's a big shift to move, and I don't expect to do it the first day, but we need to have a reform mindset in order to do that. And that's one of the main reasons I'm running. The second is my firm belief that there's an opportunity for charter school oversight. There's a lot of bad charter school operators in this state. If you saw the disparity between what happened with Columbus Public Schools and then with Ohio Department of Education, the Ohio Department of Education folks changed ratings for charter schools there to get more federal money. The prosecutor's office had full intent of prosecuting Columbus Public Schools and their officials, but didn't do anything about the Ohio Department of Education. And on top of that, there's charter schools that, if you've seen the paper, recent media accounts, where they're writing almost $7-figure dollar checks back to the state of Ohio because they lied about the number of students that they had. That's our taxpayer money that could be going to performing charter schools and our public schools that are trying to educate our children. And then the third reason I'm running is just flat out fairness. For the past decade, the current prosecutor has spent a lot of time prosecuting and focusing solely on Democrats. And there has been numerous media reports over the past decade about how there has been allegations of Republican misconduct that this prosecutor has turned a blind eye on. And that is unfair. I told my Democratic friends that I could find myself in a position where I have to hold them accountable, but I'm going to also hold Republicans accountable as well. I'm going to play it straight, and for the past decade especially, the person currently there has not played it straight. And that creates an unfair advantage for everyone, and it's not fair to the citizenry who expects good and fair government to be operating at the state level here, or even at the local level here in Franklin County. So I appreciate your time and attention. I'm honored and humbled to be able to stand before you, and I'd like to get your support and endorsement, because I firmly believe we're in this together and we have an opportunity to make a difference and make a change in this office. It's been 16 years since there was was even a Democrat running against the current prosecutor. Voters in this county have not even had a choice in 16 years. Well, this year they're going to have a choice, and I would humbly ask to have your support and your vote. Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Anybody have any questions before we let you go? Go ahead, Mike. For me? Or?
I don't really have a question, because I've been around this man a few times during the past couple of years or so, since Senate Bill 5. And it's not really, I just want to make a motion to endorse this man here. This is support on behalf of Local 4501, if that's possible. Can we do that?
Yeah, we can take a motion. Anybody want to second the motion?
Second.
Second. Take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against, say aye. Motion passed.
Thank you.
You have our endorsement.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope they really would.
Thank you.
Great.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Next on the President's report is seeking financial support from the District National. I'm going to touch on just all of these things. Obviously, the next meeting, when Kevin's here, he's going to speak more in depth on this stuff, but I will touch on all of this stuff. So what we've done is we've created some, we've got a few arbitrations coming up on eroding the bargaining unit. We've hired a guy who write a letter for us doing the privatization of the power plant. So he's going to provide a bunch of detailed information in a packet that we're going to supply to anybody and everybody that'll look at it. He's an expert in the field. That's what he's saying. His name is Robert Burns. This is what he specializes in. Privatization. He was on the energy board at the university, I believe, right? So he's worked at the university for like the past 15, 20 years. He was on their energy council. He's going to write a letter telling them how it can be done in-house, why it should be done in-house, financially why it doesn't work for the university by privatizing the power plant out. That's going to be around the cost. We're expecting about $4,000. That's kind of an idea, just to give you some numbers. So we're asking for money to pay for that. We're asking to pay for money for the arbitration. We've run some commercials recently. We're going to try to buy ads in the newspaper. We've even talked about going out and getting some billboards around campus, stopping the privatization, getting it known out there to the public. So we're asking the national and the district to fund us out of what they call the SIP fund. What's it stand for? SIP fund. We're just going to go with that. I apologize. So that's where we're at there. Number 3, I don't know if any of you guys heard about Friedrich's case, but the ruling come back in our favor. It was a tie 4-4. The people going against the union kind of hosed themselves because they didn't present a case at all the way up through the courts. They were hoping to get to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court justice passed away. It kind of left them stuck. It ended up in a 4-4 tie. So our expectation is, depending on who gets in and what Supreme Court justice gets nominated and accepted, they may or may not try to run that through in a different district. I think this come out of District 7, and we're kind of expecting maybe out of District 9 that the same kind of court case come up if the right Supreme Justice gets in. If not, if it gets in our favor, then we believe we'll be okay for it. Which leads us to number 4. May 5th, 2016 Public Worker Conference is here. It's all the state public workers, leadership, and everything will be here. We're not sure numbers-wise. District is putting this on. They're funding it, and it's going to talk about the public sector, which is all of us. It's going to talk about the Friedrichs case and how we move forward, even though we got the ruling in our favor, how we can move forward from that. As you can see, all these papers on the wall is membership. Current fair share payers are in white. If you're in gray, you are a member, a full-fledged member. We are looking to dwindle that list even further. We have about 450 still fair share fee payers. So we will be coming and talking to people about people in your area. And this is just the university. I apologize. So this is just the universities up here. So if you see people in your area, we're going to be coming to you and asking you to kind of lean on them a little bit to see them to sign a card. It's hard for the 6 or 7 of us to hit every area. all the areas. So we're going to start looking at that, isolating, hey, we got 4 people in Steven's area. Can he go out and lean on those guys, a little bit? Same way with me and my guys and Crystal and everybody. We're going to start leaning on people to get some cards signed. The district's really on us right now. We've met with the District 4 rep on Thursday. They were not happy. The National's not happy with us. We did a blitz in October. We signed up 150 new members at that point. The problem is, as quick as we sign them up, we're losing them. That's just the truth. So we sign up 150, we lose 155. So in the overall numbers don't look like they're changing. We're staying the same, but new membership is up. Overall membership is the same. That's what's going on. So, number 5, complacency. That's kind of what we were talking about, taking a look in the mirror. If you see somebody in your area that needs help getting through probation, one of the big things we're talking about is probationary removal right now. It's huge. It's rampant. They're using it. It's their tool. If you don't make it in 6 months, they're running you out of here, and they have every right to do that. So we're looking at some of the other senior members in the union to step up and take those new guys on and say, hey, this is what you have to do. This is how you get through probation. Help us build this thing stronger. We've brought in some new titles. Medical Center has brought in some transporters, right, Miracle?
Yeah.
Steve? Yes. So they brought about 40?
Yeah, the new system they brought about, I know we've got, we got 3 new transporters that we didn't have before, because the new system that they have. Because they want us to do a lot more, and they brought 3, and they're still looking to bring maybe a few more. I don't know how many they got at the medical center, but we got at least 3 new hires that's already there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a new title?
No, it's one that they either started using again. It is new to a point where it wasn't being used, right?
But it's a
They changed it. There you go. That's right. They changed it. That's
Yeah.
right.
They had patient transporters, and then they had changed the title so that they can run the cardiology machine, but that didn't work out because nurses started to complain that those were responsibilities for them. So then they started to bring back the transporters. So it's something that they were trying to erode the market in.
Okay.
And the James has brought on, I want to say, between 100 and 200 new members itself, and it's continuing to grow. So and they are fully proactive in being CWA members. They're not interested in going outside at all. They want it to be us as long as we continue to do the job. We just got to make sure we spread the word that we have to do the job.
Right.
We can't have people out there that, kind of walking through the job, not being fully invested.
Right.
We end up where we're at, losing numbers as quick as we're gaining. So, committee reports. Steve, you kind of give us yours. You got anything else?
No, but basically, what you said is that basically what's happening is that the people are on probation, I'm saying it again, is that it's not in there, they don't really want you to make it through probation because they don't have to give you everything they need to give you. So therefore, what's happening is that you got to let people know your attendance. One of the things that they get you on is the only thing they really pretty much get you for almost is your attendance and some of your behavior, the things that you do in the job. So we need to try to, like you said, just stay with them, make sure they make it through the probation so we get CWA members in here. What happens is then when that person goes out, another person comes in and goes through probation again. Basically, they just run a pool that way, and we just run it like a temporary service. Okay? So we just got to help them out until we want you in here. We don't want you out the door in 2 months.
Thank you, Steve. Carly or Crystal?
Just continue to, as Steve said, and also Jason said, continue to keep your eyes open. If you know that it's a member going through things, by all means, give us Stewart a call. We're not in those particular areas every day, so we might not necessarily know what's going on. And it's a fight for all of us. So just make sure that you would reach out to Stewart, the hall, so that we know what's going on. So that we can be proactive with you and nobody feels like the union's not working for you.
Tim, Secretary of State.
Secretary of State's office is kind of about the same. We've got our 2 grievances still going on. We had our 3rd level meeting last Monday, and the chief legal counsel chose not to even show up. Didn't really care in the first part, but the more I thought about it, the more it kind of irritated me. As far as, it would appear as if he's not even taking this seriously. There were representatives there for management sides. The meeting did occur. Reality was, the meeting was conducted more about Easter and children eating candy than any kind of functional grievance hearing. So that was their first step. We expect to have their response on this coming Thursday. Fully expect them to deny the grievance, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything they want to add from their departments? Miracle, we kind of did a department update. You got anything? Steven spoke already, but anybody else have anything they want to add? You good? All right. You guys good? Okay.
Yeah, we just not allowed to work together anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to be all working.
You heard about that, right?
Yeah. The financial report or treasurer's report, you go ahead.
I can go over it. The printer's not working though, so if you like a printout, then I can have one for you next meeting or stop past the hall, as of Monday to find out what's going on with the printer. However, I'm more than happy to go over it.
And we did have it for the board meeting.
Yes.
So there is some copies out there if somebody wants to see them. I think I still have one in the office. So, any questions? Well, you don't have it, but any questions on the treasurer's report?
Would you like me to go over it, read it out loud?
Does anybody want to read it out? Go over it real quick. Everybody good?
Sure.
Just see us, we have copies. I've got a copy floating around. So, old business. Washington DC CWA Legislative Political Conference. We need to take the vote for that. If you remember last meeting, we took nominations. I believe there's 5 people nominated. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have Darlene Sutherland, Tim Quinn, Paul Willis, Stephen Hunter, and Miracle Long. Did I miss anybody? All right. So by a show of hands, we're going to take a vote. We will start with Darlene Sutherland. Anybody got it? Tim, are you going to keep the numbers for me? Yeah. Okay. Anybody that'd like to vote for Darlene Sutherland, please show a hand. All right. Tim Quinn, you show a hand.
How many was that?
Oh, I'm sorry, 9 is what I had. I apologize, yes. Somebody probably would double count with me. There's hands going up and down, but I counted 9. Tim Quinn, need a show of hands.
Stop, I'm sorry, can you put your hands back up?
Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I had 10. All right, Paul Willis, I need a show of hands. 6, is that correct? I had 6, right? Show of hands again, please, for Paul Willis. Keep them high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stephen Hunter, need a show of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Miracle Long, I need a show. I had a 10 for Stephen Hunter. Miracle Long, a show of hands, please. So we have, well, I have 2 with 9, 2 with 10, and 1 with 6.
One over one.
Well, we were going to take 3. Do we need to have something between Miracle and Darlene? Need a show of hands for Darlene. 9. Need a show of hands for Miracle. All right, I'm making a motion to take all 4. That's the second time we did 9 and 9. Or I'd like a motion to take 4 instead of 3. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wayne Crawford made the motion. Can I get a second? Lala seconds the motion. All of those in favor of taking the 4 top vote getters, say aye.
Aye.
All of those opposed, same. Motion granted. New business. First, any questions on that vote or anything with that process? Yes.
Yeah, we're taking a lot of trips and excursions here, and I'm wondering if anybody's, I'm sure people are thinking about the money, but have we got the money to still go to arbitrations and do all the stuff we're doing? Because if we're going to the district or the national for money, which we should, have we got in mind the travel expenses versus the internal organizing expenses?
Yeah, so we were, the travel expenses were set up for 5, we're now going to take 6.
Yeah.
So we're not looking at a huge cost difference there. This is something, I don't want to say, me and Kevin are required to be there. The other 3, it's strongly suggested that they be there. It's not like we're forcing you, but we want people there. It's the national district trip, or to DC. I guess that's always been a big trip from my understanding. So and I want to say we probably did have an option, but we were really kind of told to get people there. Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
And then in addition to that, when it comes to arbitration and then the dollars that we're spending with that, we have went back over it to, well, Kevin, I'm sorry, has went back over it to make sure that it's more a strategic process and follow the fact that, again, it's precedent and if we can win the cases. And now in the contract, we have that pre-arbitration or pre-arbitration
mediation
process. So that process is a lot cheaper for us, whereas hiring, again, going through the arbitration. So we're going to start to utilize that system instead of just immediately going to, as you stated, going to arbitration and spending those costs to make sure that we're cost efficient about things.
And we're in a much better spot than we were 8, 9, 10 months ago, a year ago. We've seen things grow, the bank account grow. And it's not that we had to go to the district for the money. We just feel like, hey, you're putting the pressure on us to do these things. You're saying you'll help us, we want some help. See if they can give us some money. And we felt like the conversation with Bill Bain on Thursday was a good one. So he understood where you're coming from. He didn't have a problem going to bat for some of the money. Show us what you're doing, prove to us how you're doing it. We did that. He said, I'll go fight for you guys. So hopefully, we probably won't get all of it, but if we can get 50% of it, any of it would be great, right? I mean, any of it that we don't have to spend would be great. So, absolutely. New business. Any new business? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Good.
Well, I wanted to say about the Frederick's decision. I think your reasoning is good about approaching the membership now, and what people might not know is that we're still in a war, even though there was a split decision. They could come for us again. In fact, OSU stations, who I called and complained the day that Frederick's decision came out, they were running every spot they did with Robert Alt from the Buckeye conservative organization that always has to speak. I think he's an attorney or something, but he spun it as an individual liberty issue and put it back in that so-called right-to-work format immediately again, so it was a burning issue once more for the conservatives who lost because they lost Scalia or whatever they're vengeful about. OSU was running that again and again with a Frederick's news spot, so I called them up and I said, look, can't you interview a labor leader? It's not like labor side is restricted to the news event itself. Interview a labor leader, find out what it means to organize labor. Because a lot of us have been following that issue and know that it's an attempt to sink organized labor, particularly public workers. So the fight's still on. It's important, and you don't have to lean on workers in the workplace. If anybody from this local shows up in the workplace, the members will be so excited and ready to sign just because it's clear there's an organization that's concerned about them and has their back. And speaking of having your back, I should also say that Kevin Key is still doing an outstanding job, and we went to second level on a couple of grievances just this past Monday. And he can operate on his feet, he can collaborate with members, which if people are worried about that, I can speak to that. And management has an even more restricted ability to collaborate than they've ever had. So people need the union desperately now. If they don't know it, we got to get them to sign up, at least move their consciousness to that particular place. It'd be great. I also think it's wise to get on the probationary thing as you're talking about, because we've had problems out at stores with that. They do seem to be looking for situations where they have power and where they have power and where power is concentrated in a few hands, they've left all reason behind. They can't even see straight. So we have great grievances involving the erosion of the bargaining unit, the evaluation of system, as that's been unfair in a lot of contexts. So the union's working on that. If people just knew, we'd have people signing up in droves, and that'd be good. So I'm glad everybody's working on that stuff.
Well, thank you. We are seeing new members come in. I mean, like I said, our new membership has grown greatly. It's just, we are literally losing them as fast as, and some of it's not much you can do about it. There's some stuff out there that you as a worker have to own too, right? I mean, you have to have personal accountability for things that are happening. So, and we've made some strides, believe it or not, in those cases with OHR. We had one out of student life where they came, they weren't prepared, we called them out on it, they called a timeout in the middle of the hearing. Now this is a hearing, and went out of the office, discussed it, come back in and said, we're going to put this on hold until we further investigate. A day later, we got a notice saying, we're no longer investigating this, we didn't do our job, thank you. So we are making some strides, baby steps, but we're making a few steps here and there to get to that. Yeah, Miracle, go ahead.
I just wanted to add something today when we had I recently got a decision of worker being terminated. I'm never satisfied when people are terminated. I started shooting out emails to everybody because I thought it was a harsh punishment. Something had to happen because she didn't do what she needed to do. But they terminated her. After me sending out the email, they decided to send out another decision and make it a second level instead of a termination. So sometimes when we just take that extra step, it actually helps out a lot.
That brings another question to mind. On this privatization thing we're paying $4,000 for, which seems very reasonable given the burning issue that it is.
Right.
Can people, I noticed the stewards get mailed stuff electronically about the Friedrich's decision and whatnot. Can the members who are on the email roster get electronically what's coming out with that?
They should be. That should be an email blast, because when I get it like 4 times. I get it from Stewart, the vice president, the roster. Like when I get it, it literally comes 4 times in my email address.
Well, people are so busy, the rank and file membership gets left out. Do you need to make that a motion that the members get included? Because
no, they should be. Like we just talked about this in the board meeting. We talked about doing email blasts, and that's what we were informed that's happening. So if it's not, let us know. If they're not getting it, let us know. We'll make sure that starts happening again.
Yeah. The staff has really worked tirelessly too to get the hearings together, get witnesses together. So people should know that the staff is really competent here too. So
yeah, our 2 ladies that work the office, Alita and Sheila, with this whole organization thing going, that is consuming probably 90% of their time right now. It's crazy. The district is really on us about that and keeping our numbers up. And we get information in every day. We get cards in. We have to verify the cards, verify the address, verify the name, the employee number. If one letter's off, then that goes into a different account, and then it's billed as non-fair share payer. And then if they really have a card, and it's a full-time job, really.
Well, thanks for doing the meeting in Kevin's absence, but just know that it's like The Walking Dead for the membership, because the membership don't come to the meetings and they don't know half the stuff that's going on unless there's an email blast.
Okay.
And they should, because I think they would like that. I think people would be excited about that.
Yeah, so we will make sure the email blasts are happening. I'll double check that, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's all I have. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael.
I wanted to speak quickly on the Friedrich versus the California Teachers Association. It's all about her right to work without paying dues. She doesn't have to pay dues. She could go to a charter school, but the pay there sucks because they're not unionized. And that irony just kills me.
Absolutely.
Or hypocrisy, more.
What Mike was hitting on is, and Dave was hitting on, we have the right to work. That battle is coming soon. There's Bill, I think it's House Bill 370.
House Bill 370.
Yes, it's more in the private sector right now.
Yeah.
But trust me, if they get through in the private sector, public sector is about 2 seconds behind it. So SB 5 happened 4 years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago.
It's been about almost 4.5 years since the Senate Bill 5.
Yeah, and we're fully expecting House Bill 370 and another House bill to come through, the right to work is what it's going to be called.
Right.
You know, we feel that battle coming. So we got Friedrichs turned down, here's another shot at it in Ohio, so we just got to continue to elect the right people in the right offices. Kevin says it all the time, and all the judges, even all the way down to the small county judges, we have to have the right people in the right places. So, yes.
I've been going to the USAS meetings, the Students Against Sweatshops group, and the other day I said, and somebody kind of jumped on it, that we didn't follow up, and I didn't follow up. I said that the students were just the kind of people we wanted to be working for and helping out, which is true. But I should also say that the students are kind of idealistic, off target, and they're kind of in their own element. And the stuff we do is more on target, and the students need to be in the loop too. If we get information in a news blast, the students need to be part of that. They're having their day, and it's their group, and I understand that, and I just kind of go to report to the membership about what they're up to. But we have better stuff than they do. They're idealistic like young people are and should be, but we're more practical, and we got our feet to the fire most of the time, and we do better stuff. So if we can keep the students in the information loop, that'd be great.
And I think Kevin meets with the leader of one of the student groups, Lacey, monthly, I believe. So
They have a monthly meeting, and Kevin was there Thursday. He goes every Thursday. Sometimes he lets them use the building.
yes.
But the students are diligent in fighting for our cause. We do not have members backing us. We were at a meeting, the meeting Dave was talking about, and there were 4 CWA. One was a retired, myself, Dave, Kevin, and the other gentleman, and there was 80 students. And they're out there, and they're working, and they're working for us, as well as it affects them, it affects us too. But as members, we are complacent, and we need to get out and be more diligent and stand up and fight for ourselves. You cannot do it with 3 people, you need 100.
Amen.
I agree. Yeah, the students are really about 20 to 1 for us right now, and that's kind of a sad state of affairs that, you know, we can't get free. And the district brought this up, that, hey, you know, why should we come down and support you if you can't get more than 3 people to a rally for your own jobs? Why do we want to send money and all this effort down here if your local won't even do it? So we've really got to start beating that drum out in the workforce. I know it's time, and we have a great rally. I think you want to speak to the rally coming up?
Yeah, we have a rally on April 21st at 3:30 p.m. over in the South Oval, which is a very convenient place to be at, because I don't know how everybody else's schedule is. I mean, for those who get off at work at 3:30, at least give a few minutes to show up, you know, in support of this rally, because this is very important, because, you know, it's just like Darlene and Kevin said, we be there, but don't know members be there. You know, I've been trying to get members, some of the housekeeping staff and student rights to show up, at least for 3:30. So, you know, I'm not saying that there's no excuses. We all got things to do. But if you guys can make at least a few minutes of your time, go up there, show up, you know, show up for the students. We need numbers. We need bodies out there. These little few people that are over here right now, these little few people like me, her, Jason, Christo, Miracle, Cuz over there, we all can't do this all by ourselves. We need bodies. We need numbers. The more numbers we can get, the more we can show that we're against this privatization. Because they try to go full forward with this, despite the decision with the Friedrichs case, they don't care about that. They just still want to go forward, which is good that the case is defeated as far as the right to work, but the privatization is still going to go on, because they're still going to push the issue no matter what. If we don't see bodies, they're going to look at it like, where everybody at? They don't see numbers, they're going to do what they're going to do. So we need to do what we need to do.
I agree completely. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm always going to be on the workers' side of this issue, but most of the bodies we need are on the battlefield. And there's a conditioned apathy in the workplace that we often ignore when we castigate and scold the members for not coming to meetings and this and that. We got to think about what's happening to the members. For example, how long have we been fighting on a raise in the bargaining unit, the classification system, the evaluation process, when our members are roasting for years in that process. Even our grievance process. If you file a grievance, the rule is obey now, grieve later. So you're sitting in the workplace for 6 or 8 months, years on end, doing the wrong job at the wrong duties. Management, in the case of my grievance, has plucked all the clerical duties out of storekeeper 1, and they have the senior union members assigned by students in overlapping job titles doing all the clerical work, while the older workers do all the lifting and loading. It's like helping somebody move every day. So don't be surprised if they don't show up half dead to your rally because they're being tormented in the workplace, and management bullies people in the workplace. That's conditioned apathy. It's not just apathy. Most people care deeply, and like I say, if anybody from the union shows up and shows attention to workers, they'll be glad you're there. I think people have a working class consciousness that transcends all the media crap that they're seeing in connection with the election. Workers know better what's going on than anybody. That's why we need them. So let's not forsake or forget our workforce, because they're what drives the organization. That's what the national and district are concerned about, drumming them up. But they're being worked over in the workplace every day, and everybody knows that's true and would agree, probably. But I just thought I'd say that.
Yeah, and this is a perfect rally for the everyday, because it's at 3:30. It's, even if it's 10 minutes, you can come over for 10 minutes and just give a show. And you don't have to come back at 7. You don't have to show up Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings at 10. It's walk over there. You don't have to get in your car. Just walk over there, show a few minutes of, some strength, and let's see what we can do. One last thing. Go ahead.
Like what's up? I can probably swipe out a paper, like right over at the rally, along with several hundreds of other of our housekeepers in student life. And I tell people in student life, in the housekeeping part, there is no excuse for y'all to be sitting there going straight on. It don't take that much long for you to go at least with one little rally and show your support for this. If you don't show your support for this, you got folks like Lawrence Washington, Rufus Morgan, feed a bunch of crap to these housekeepers that they're doing a great job, but instead they try to put these little students in to take our jobs. That's ridiculous. We just had a meeting this past Wednesday, this past Tuesday or Wednesday over at the Job Success Center. You know what the school had to say? This is Rufus Morgan. He's going to tell housekeepers, to tell a student to go to Rufus Morgan just to get a job in housekeeping. And I was really pissed about that. And I told those people in the housekeeping over there, I said, don't tell these students nothing. They want a job. If they really want a job, tell them to go to Target or somewhere else. Because the thing about it is, they try to take everybody's jobs away from them. They want to use students as a place to us. But then you got management and environmental services as far as student life, butter everybody up, butter our people up, but our people have a tendency to fall for that mess. And I try to tell people, quit falling for their talk. Quit falling for their talk.
I don't want to cut you off, Wayne, but I appreciate it. Yeah, no, thank you very much. Guys, I don't have anything else, so...
Motion to adjourn.
You motion to adjourn, but you have to do the tickets for the...
Drawing.
Absolutely.
I almost forget that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just really quick, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that it's going to Washington, D.C. You guys will fly out the 13th and will return the 15th, so please make proper plans because I will be booking flights.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Please start forward again, I'm sorry. Please.
Not you. It is Darlene, Tim, Steven, and Miracle. Let's see what I had. Tim with 10, Steven with 10, Miracle with 9, Darlene with 9. And we did it again with Darlene and Miracle, and both had 9. So we took the motion up. All right, does anybody want to come up? One of the kids want to come up and pull a ticket? Your odds are pretty good. We got 4 tickets for 3 prizes. If you don't win, it's not today. $50 first. Pull one out. Yeah, there's not many in there. Perfect. I have it. Thank you.
825199.
Yes. It just died. Nope, that one goes back in.
That's her money, Lala.
No, no, no.
So we have a second drawing for $50, correct? So you want to pull one out?
There you go. There, now they're all upside down.
Thank you very much. 825197.
Right here.
There you go. Winner, winner. Dave Lushler, $50. Yeah, you can pull it. There's only two left in there. No pound in the corner. There you go.
Get that money.
Must
There
be
you
stuck
go.
in the
Doesn't
basket.
matter, just the number. She's right over. 825198. There we go. Name? What's your name? Richard? I don't.
Sir. It's hers.
Thank you very much.
Did you ever get such
All right, while we do that, can we get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
You said it's Richard.
Motion, Tim Quinn, can I get a second? Second. Everybody?
Everybody second.
Everybody? Darlene, all in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same?
Any opposition?
Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for sticking with me through it.